Okay, first things first, I want you to create a folder on the desktop. So I right-clicked by holding down Control-click, and then created a project folder, Evie Wilson Radio. Inside that, I created a folder for my audio, a folder for Audition, and a folder for export. In my audio file, that's where I pulled over all of the raw recordings from my recording device. So my microphone, that'll be your lens hopper. I recorded everything and dragged it, downloaded everything or uploaded it, however, and dragged it into my audio folder. Once I have all of that organized, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up Audition. So over here in the top right-hand corner, there's this magnifying glass, and I'm going to type in Audition and go ahead and open up the program of Audition. I'm going to minimize myself just slightly so that it won't be so distracting. I won't take up so much space. But it's taking a second for Audition to boot. Once it does, we're going to import our audio and then open up a multi-track editing session. So over here, I'm going to go to File, Import Files, and I'm going to go to my desktop, to my radio, to my audio. I'm going to click the top one, scroll to the bottom, and hold down Shift. This will allow me to select all of them, and that's going to open them all into Audition. Okay, so over here, these are the individual tracks. Let me magnify this so you can see. If I click on any track, it's going to open it, and I'm going to be able to see the waveforms of that audio, and I can listen to it.
In and out. Oh, that was a good thing.
So I can know what it was. Thank you, Emily, for this audio files, right? So you can click through and listen to them. But we want to edit in a multi-track session, which is going to allow us to edit with multiple different sound bites all together to create one sound file that will be exported. Okay, so up here, I'm going to go to multi-track, and I'm going to say, just call it whatever you want. And the most important thing is to save this where I want to save it. So I'm going to go to Browse, Desktop. You might have to go to Desktop here, inside my radio folder, inside my Audition folder. Then I'm going to press Choose, and it's going to open up this session, this multi-track session where I have track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, right? So here is where I'm just going to drag over my audio. I'm going to move me kind of down here so you can see. And I'm just going to listen to my audio, and it's going to play. I'm going to use my space bar. So I'm going to move my cursor and hit my space bar.
Easy going in and out. So that was a good thing.
Right? So maybe this is about how quick or how complicated it was to vote. So I'm going to go to the beginning of where waveform starts, and I'm going to zoom in with my plus key and go where the waveform is the closest to 0.
It was easy going.
So right about there. And once I feel good, I'm going to stop it there. So either pause on my space bar, and I can either select the audio and do Command K, or I can use the razor tool to come over and place a cut, right? And then I'm going to use my space bar to get to the end of the phrase.
It was easy going in and out. So that was a good thing.
Right? So maybe this, and I'm going back and forth just slightly with my arrow keys on my laptop. I get here, and I'm going to make another cut. And then I'm going to go get my arrow and move that cut down. So that is one of the selections that I think I'm going to use for my story. So all I'm going to do first is go around and get the selections of what I think I'm going to use for my story, right? So I'm listening, I put a cut there, I put a cut here, and I drag it down, and I make my way all the way through my first interview, right? Then when I've got all the sound bites that I think I'm going to use or that I might want to use, I'm just going to delete the rest of it, and I'm going to pull over my next interview, right? All right, at this point, I want to mute these sound files on track 2 so that I can only hear track 1, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to listen to them. So I'm zooming in, pressing my space bar.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lewis. So why did you come in and vote today?
So he's about to say something good. I'm going to where my waveform is the closest to room tone, and I'm going to Command K and then listen.
Why? Because it's my right, it's my duty to do that.
right? Great. That's the soundbite I want. That's the soundbite I want. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Laura. That's the soundbite that I want. And so I'm going to go all the way down to there. And then once I like that, I'm going to click this and drag it down, right? And maybe if you want to, you can drag it down to track 3 so that you can identify that this person is different than the person in track 3, right? Do the same thing. Go around, listen to all your sound bites. I'm just going to press space.
The system is crooked,
Mhm.
and they need to stop telling lies.
Great. Maybe that's the quote that I want. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, zoom in to try to get as close to where the waveform's near 0. Select the audio, Command K.
The system is crooked,
Mhm.
and they need to stop telling lies.
Perfect. And then get to the end of it, Command K, and drag that down. Okay, once you have gone through all of those, you've made all your selections, I'm going to delete everything. And now I'm going to start ordering my audio in the storytelling that I want to do, right? So maybe I want this first one about how quick it was,
Easy going, in and out. So that was a good thing.
right? Maybe I want that. She's like, in and out. That was a good thing. And then maybe I want the, why do you vote?
Why? Because it's my right, it's my duty to do that.
Right? So then I'm going to pull that one up. Maybe I want to hear that next. Then maybe I want to hear what she cares about.
Mhm.
6 Abraham, those 2 C.
So I don't know what that one is, but maybe this,
The system is crooked,
Mhm.
and they need to stop telling lies.
right? Okay. So maybe I'm just pulling them up and you can tell that they're all green when they're all on track 1. But now I'm just able to like see how long my piece is. Like I selected the sound bites that I really want. We're aiming for a 2-minute story, right? So I've selected the sound bites that I want. They're pretty short, right? So now I have to start thinking, how can I write in between my sound bites to create a hosted bit that will allow this to play for 2 minutes, right? So I'm just going to open up, a blank document, and this is where I'm going to start creating a script. So I'm just going to figure out what it might sound like, right? Like, I asked people at local polling stations in Macon, Georgia, about their experience in voting. And then we'll kind of play it with the sound, right? So I went to different polling locations in Macon, Georgia to ask people about their experience voting.
It was easy going, in and out. So that was a good thing.
That's Bertha Robbins. She had an easy experience. Billy Bob agreed. And then we have something from him, right? So you're going to have to attribute your quotes and talk between them. So I would listen to my sound bites and then write the script that I want to hear in between those sound bites, right? Sometimes I actually if it were me, I would actually transcribe the sound bites that I'm going to use so that I could physically read it. And then you practice reading to make sure that what you've written will allow you to have a final radio story that's the amount of time that you are going to need for your radio story, right? So if you're only given 1 minute and 30 seconds, then you need to make sure that you aren't writing a lot, or that your sound bites are really concise. So that's the goal. You're going to go through first and create your selections. Then you're going to put your selections in order. Then you're going to write a hosted bit that will allow your story to make sense. Then you're going to record that hosted bit, pull it in, and fill in these sections. So maybe you're editing here. Once you're done with your hosted section, you'll pull that up there and again, fill in these gaps with the bits that you've hosted. So same principles. So ideally on Monday, you're going to have this all outlined. It's going to be just at least all in the right order. And then we're going to practice mixing and mastering it in class on Monday. All right. I hope that helps.